الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وبعد, welcome everybody to the latest edition of IANL Arabic. This is not a new thing to Finchley Mosque, where we teach Arabic. We have done many courses in the past, and this is a follow-on from those courses. This is going to be not like anything we've done before, as I see a couple of familiar faces in the crowd and a few new faces, mashallah. This is more a conversational course, which basically means we're going to learn how to speak more than we're going to learn the construct of the Arabic language. And in order to learn how to speak, you're going to have to speak. PhD for God, who got that one? And in order to speak, there's no way that I can go to each and every one of you and you guys can speak to me for the next hour, right? So that means you guys are going to have to be interactive and cooperative with one another, yeah? So this is you guys teaching yourselves and teaching each other and me watching you. No, inshallah. So, just before we do actually begin, so Abdul Bass has gone around and he's just doing finishing off the admin stuff. So inshallah, hopefully all of you guys have signed up. Now with your details, it's important that you know what we do with them. Inshallah, we're going to set up a WhatsApp group, inshallah, and it'll be brothers and sisters separately. And what that will allow us to do is it will allow us to interact with each other outside of class hours. Now, if you think about it, we're only going to be here every Sunday, and we're only going to be here on a Sunday for about an hour, and the rest of the week we're not going to be with each other. We may bump into each other here and there, but we're not exactly going to be speaking Arabic, except for the Arabic master over there on the right. So what we can do through those groups is we can speak, and I can give you some assignments and give you some homeworks, inshallah, and through that we can interact directly with each other. Inshallah. So we'll be learning on the go as well. Yeah? So it won't just be here in the classroom or here in the masjid, but it will be throughout the week as well, inshallah. There'll be some, obviously there's rules and regulations regarding WhatsApp, inshallah. Taimur will hook you guys up with that, inshallah. So a little bit about the class. The class is mainly going to be conversational. Now there are many ways of conversing in Arabic. I'm sure many of you guys already know a little bit about the introduction of the how to introduce yourself and how to say certain words, and you pick things up here and there, and you guys can recite the Fatiha and stuff like that. But this is not going to be like your normal colloquial conversational Arabic. This is going to be the Arabic that you'll hear on the news if you open like Al Jazeera Arabic or something like that, right? You'll find them speaking in a distinct way. That form of the Arabic language, that spoken word of the Arabic language, is one that is universally understood amongst all Arabs. You'll find the Arabs of Morocco, they'll have a certain way of speaking. You'll find the Arabs of Egypt, for example, they have a certain way of speaking. And the Arabs of the Khalij, of the Gulf countries, they have a certain way of speaking also, and so on and so forth. Different parts of the Arab world, they speak different Arabic, if you like. And most of it is mixed up with whatever colonial power took them over in the early 19th and 20th centuries. So it'll be a bit of French, a bit of English, a bit of something else. But what we are going to study is something that is universally understood throughout the Arab world, inshallah. The lesson is going to be split up into three parts. The first part is where I explain to you a little bit of theory about the conversation, what we're going to do. Each lesson is going to be based on a scenario. Yeah, so we have 12 weeks, 12 lessons. Each lesson we're going to have a specific scenario that we're going to take. Today's one is going to be about introduction, how to introduce yourself, how to find out a little bit about your companion or your partner. Next week will be about a different subject, maybe holidays, for example. Another week will be about life at home. Another one will be about going to the shops. Real life sort of scenarios where you can identify and and resonate with, inshallah. And if you're ever out and about and you're going to the shops and you want, oh, there's an orange, you say, or something like that, which you have learnt here, inshallah. You have learnt that here. So it's going to be split up into 3 parts. The first part is going to be the conversation itself. So I'll take you through the conversation and some of the key components of it, the structure of the sentence, and some of the words that I've introduced in the conversation. The conversation itself is quite unique. I've tried my best to have a generic structure whereby you can take that sentence and apply it anywhere, and all you have to do is change certain words. So you'll have to change 1 or 2 words, and I've highlighted those words as well. So if you were to change that word, you'll keep the sentence, and whatever word you change it to, it'll be whatever you mean, basically, or whatever you want it to be. Yeah, and that's what it'll be throughout the course, inshallah. So that if you were to learn these structures, all you have to do is replace certain words, and you'll be able to, lo and behold, speak Arabic, Allah, with minimal effort, inshallah. The second part of the lesson is going to be a little bit about grammar. Now, if you notice on your papers, I've missed that out. I've written not today. So obviously, it's the first day. Want to get to know each other and stuff, and you don't want to go in for sort of heavy and be like, "Subhanallah, man, stuff." Hamid is a bit hardcore. So we're going to miss that grammar focus this week, inshallah, but we'll begin that next week. Inshallah. Each week we'll take a certain aspect of the Arabic grammar just to shed some light on how it all works, the mechanics of it all, the cogs and screws behind the language, that sort of thing. So let us appreciate the language a little bit more and perhaps understand it a little bit more. Also, those of us who, the familiar faces in the crowd who were on our Arabic course, I'm sure won't have any problems going through that, inshallah. And hopefully I'll be relying on you guys, the familiar faces, or I can see the back, to help me out, inshallah, with regards to those who are new to this as well. And the third and final part is the vocab. You'll find on the reverse side of your sheets of paper. The vocab is, it's not much. These are certain words that I put in there that will help you to replace the words that are highlighted in the actual conversation. These are words that are mandatory upon you to learn, right? So everything on your pieces of paper, you have to learn. You have to have either committed it to memory, understand it. You have to learn it. Yes, the vocab especially, you have to have committed that to memory, right? Because there is no language without vocab, yeah, and there is no vocab without you actually comprehending and taking that vocab in, yeah. So it's very, very important that you all take those in. I've left a couple of boxes empty for you guys to add certain words that I may say throughout the class, or some words that you perhaps are not on that list, but you want them to be on that list, or some words that are personal to you, or particular to you in your scenario or situation. And we want to keep it as flexible as possible. So what will happen is, inshallah, in the second part of the lesson, after I've done my spiel and gone through the conversation and let you guys know what today is going to be all about, you guys will go off into groups and you'll have those conversations amongst yourselves. And I'll go around each group at a time and take you through it, inshallah. That way you'll have the most of my time and also be able to interact and speak as much as possible within this hour, inshallah. When I do come around, inshallah, if there are certain things that you'd like to say that you don't know how to say, or perhaps certain questions that you have with regards to certain things, that's where I will come in, inshallah. And there are some brothers and sisters who already know a little bit about something, inshallah, and they can be of service also, inshallah. Shall I point them out? Name and shame. We'll do that next week, inshallah. Okay. Have I missed out anything? Yeah. Okay, so there may be things that you already know. Arabic is a language that is dear to all of us. It's the language of the Quran. It is the language of our Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. And this is the reason why we study it. This is the reason why we want to learn it. This is the reason why we want to speak it. We don't want to speak it because there's an Arab that speaks it, or we are somehow amazed by the Arabs or the Arabic language itself. Rather, because it's the language of the Quran, and it's the language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to reveal the Quran in. He could have chosen any language in the world. that he decided to choose Arabic. And that is why we love it. And that is why we want to study it. So when we study this, while there's no reference of any Quran or anything like that, there's no ahadith that are a part of our conversations, this is a stepping stone to understanding the Arabic language, learning the Arabic language. Anything that is a wasila, anything that is a doorway or a step towards getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or understanding His revelation a little bit more, getting close to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of that is an act of ibadah. So our next hour that we're going to be spending here, or next 45 minutes that we're going to be spending here, is all going to be ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? So let that be at the forefront of our minds also, inshallah. The amount you get out of this course will be the effort that you put in. Yeah? I am going to only give you maybe about 20% of what you're going to be taking from this course. The rest of that 80% is down to you. Yeah? And what you do throughout the rest of the week. Inshallah, I'll do my very best to facilitate wherever I possibly can. But it's all down to you and your effort and your hard work, inshallah. And the more hardworking you guys are, the more you'll get out of me, inshallah. And the less you are, the more I can just relax and do it. Which is not what I'm going to do. Alright? Don't worry. Yeah? Inshallah. Today we're going to take it easy. There's not anything too taxing on your sheets of paper. I don't have one on me. Oh, yes, I do. Is it there? There's not one left?
No, there's spare copies here and here.
I've got for perfection. Anyway, okay, so we'll start, inshallah, with our conversation. Are there any questions before we begin? Oh, bismillah.
If we learn in Arabic, instead of we talking English with each other, so we speak Arabic as much as we can. So we push it to learn more.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea.
We sit there and then we chat in English.
Yeah. That reminds me actually. So I wasn't going to put this rule down at the beginning because it might be daunting for some, and it's our first lesson. But I was going to say that the rule in this class is that we only speak Arabic to each other. Yeah, no English. I know English, brother, I'm sorry. That's the rule. No English, yeah? So it's all going to be Arabic. And when I say no English, I don't mean Urdu with it. Even if it's written a little bit like Arabic. Okay. But inshallah, today I think we'll let that rule slide. Maybe next week, inshallah, we might introduce that, inshallah. Yeah? And no phones. And no food either. Okay. There's the other class rules, inshallah. And if you have a question, raise up your hand. And inshallah, if I do take that question, you're welcome to say it. If I don't, then be patient with me, and you'll get an opportunity, inshallah. Any more questions?
Are there going to be any tests or anything?
There will be. Yes, there will be. There will be. I'll give you some time, inshallah, to prepare.
It might be a pop quiz.
And it may be something that we spring on you guys all of a sudden. So inshallah, the difficult ones I'll let you know. The easy ones I'll just guys, someone it's a test. Let's do it. But inshallah, it'll be fun. It'll be interactive. It won't be like we have 15 minutes dead silence. Everyone has to sit like two seats apart from each other, no looking. There's moderators and vigilators and all that. Let's take it easy, inshallah.
We'll get the recordings of the class every week.
There'll be recordings, Timur.
Yeah, the idea is to get the main crux of it. So, what he's teaching on the board should be recorded.
The theory aspects of the first half of the lesson, that will all be recorded. Obviously, when you guys are having conversation and stuff, that's not going to be recorded, so don't worry about that. And that will be accessible.
I'll send the email out and also put on the WhatsApp group, inshallah.
Yeah, so we have a YouTube channel that I think you guys can subscribe to.
Yeah. But it won't be live on that. It will be hidden. So only you guys will have special access to it.
Oh, special access to you guys only.
Exclusive.
Subhanallah. And so you'll get updates on the WhatsApp groups, inshallah. Yeah? And that will be available every week. Yeah? Inshallah. Ideally, we want you guys to be as prepared as possible. So you'll get handouts every week like this. But what we may do is we may send you the class notes or the sheets of paper via email beforehand, a couple of days before maybe. So you guys are prepared. You guys know what's going to come up in the class. You don't come like, hotels. Right? Inshallah. So that should be good.
Is the class going to be in Ramadan?
The class will continue in Ramadan. We will speak Arabic when we are fasting, inshallah. If there are any suggestions as the class goes on, this is the first time we're doing something like this as Fijl Masjid. So if there are any suggestions, anything that you think that the class will benefit from, or we can do something better, perhaps make it a little bit more sort of fun or the learning process easier, let us know, inshallah. We have our admin team, Demur, and we have Asad, and MAB, Muhammad Abdul Basit, inshallah. So those are the guys that are the backbone of the class. And when you walked in, you found all the tables and chairs out, right? Allahu Akbar. Yeah,
That was the magic of IANL.
that was their jinns that were doing it. Okay. Any questions? Any more questions? Okay, alhamdulillah. So without further ado, we'll begin. So this conversation is, I didn't put a title on it. The title of this conversation is Introductions. You have to introduce yourself. Yeah? Introducing yourself. When you introduce yourself, you don't just say your name and your age. Rather, you say you want to ask a few more questions. You want to find out a little bit about the person you're speaking to, where they live, where they're from, and so on and so forth. Now, I look out into the crowd, and I see pretty much no white faces. Right? We are all of a different hue, which means that we all came from somewhere. We didn't spring out of the ground here in the UK. So all of us has an origin. So I went on that, and I was expecting us all to be sort of migrants, or son of migrants, or sons of migrants, and daughters, of course. So I've incorporated that also. So it's going to be introducing yourself, learning about your, or how to find out the name of the person that you're speaking to, where they come from, where they live, and what they do for a living. Those 4 things. Yeah? Okay, so the first line is Assalamu alaikum, everybody knows that, wa alaikum assalam. Okay, I assume here that everybody can read Arabic, yes? No one has any problems reading Arabic? Okay.
We can read it, but we don't understand a bit.
So the line underneath it, you understand that, right? That's important too. Oh, my G. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. The next line is Masmuka. What is your name? Yeah? Ism means name. Let's write that down. Ism. Name.
Isn't it foreign name?
Huh?
Isn't it foreign asking a name?
Yes, that's a good point. Okay, so for sisters, this is interesting, right? So I had a bit of a dilemma when I was writing this class.
That's why I gave up. He was too much at some point.
Yeah, so what happens is there's different ways for speaking to men and there's different ways for speaking to women. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the masculine side of things, and then I'll incorporate the feminine side of things with you guys, inshallah. Yeah? Or we can do that together if you like. Yeah, I don't mind. It's up to you guys. This is, if you guys can take it, then we'll do it. If not, then yeah, okay, we'll do it, inshallah. Okay, masmuka. Right, ism means name. That kaf is your. Yeah, your name. Ismuka. Okay, the kaf with the fatha is for the masculine. And the kaf with the kasra, so all you sisters in the back, is the same meaning, but for the feminine. So if you were to ask a woman, if you were to ask your wife, I'm sure you know her name, but if you were to ask your wife, what is her name? Masmuki. What's your name? Next line is Ismi Amir. وَمَا اسْمُكَ أَنْتَ. Okay, Ismi Amir. Amir, I put that in bold because you can change that to your name, or your pet's name, or whatever name you want to Yeah, ismi Ahmed, and ismi, my name. Yeah, so that ya is mine. Should put that in. Terrible. And that's for the masculine and the feminine. So the men and women are equal there. Equal opportunities, equal rights. Okay. وَمَا اسْمُكَ أَنْتَ. And the same thing will apply to the sisters, masmuki and ti. So anta. Okay, there is no structure to how I'm writing on the board at the moment. Anta is for the masculine. It means you. And anti in the feminine, that also means you. Yeah? So you're kind of noticing a pattern here. Anything that is masculine usually has a fatha, anything that is feminine usually has a kasra.
So the question is, Masmuka, what is your name? And the answer is, whatever my name. And then, Masmuka, why doesn't Anta mean necessary? Or can
I will tell you that later, inshallah. Yeah? Okay. So Ahmed has now asked the person that he's speaking to, and this person's name just happens to be Jabir. Ismi Jabir. Then he asks him, Min Aina Anta? Ya Ahmed. Min Aina Anta? Min Aina Anta? Where are you from?
Can you say that again, please?
Min Aina Anta? Oh yeah. Min Aina Anta? Okay. Min means from. Aina means where. And obviously Anta means you. Yeah? So you're literally saying, from where you.
That's excellent.
You can say min aina anta.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Aisha.
Yeah. So you'll say min aina anti for a sister. Min aina anti.
And is it necessary to say like yeah, or can that be excluded?
Min aina anta. It can be excluded, but it will be better to say. Better to say.
Would it add something to the?
Yeah. It means you're directly speaking to the person.
Is that how people normally speak? Like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. They do.
That's short and everything.
No, they speak that.
Which year? Sorry, I missed that question.
Okay, we're getting to it now, inshallah.
Oh, sorry, I jumped line, sorry.
Yeah, you did. Stay in line, bro. Okay, min aina anta. So, where are you from? Ya Amir. Ya, which I'm sure most of you know, and readers of the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, is when you call out to someone, and you're speaking to someone directly, and you want to grab their attention, or direct whatever you're saying to them directly and nobody else. So you use the word ya. How would you translate that though? I didn't put a word there, right?
You.
Because in English you won't say, where are you from? Oh, Timur. But you can translate it like that. Oh. So if I'm speaking to Timur, I'll be like, Min aina anta ya Timur? And he'll tell me where he's from. If I was speaking to someone like Uriya, I'll be like, Min aina anti? Yeah, Uriya. Like that. Or I'll speak to somebody else in the crowd whose name's Aisha, for example, and I'll say, Min aina anti ya Aisha? Yeah? Okay. So Hamid goes on to say, Ana min Turkiya. I'm from Turkey. Ana means I. And that is the same for the masculine and the feminine. So we also have Ana. And Turkey you can change with whatever country you're from. Yeah. And then he goes on to ask him the same question, وَمِنْ أَيْنَ أَنْتَ? Wa literally means and. And where are you from? He goes on to say, Ana min Pakistan, same thing, I'm from Pakistan. And then he goes on to ask him, Aina taskun. Now what does Aina mean? Where? Taskunu, this is our first verb. Oh, mashallah, congratulations guys. I'm going to rub some of this out, yeah?
Do we pronounce that down at the end?
No, you don't have to. Do it. Taskunu means you live. So where you live, where do you live?
Is it same for masculine and feminine?
No. Alright. Aina taskun, where do you live? Yeah? That's what you would ask a man. For a woman though, it's slightly different. When you are addressing a woman, when you're addressing in the feminine, you'll change the structure of the verb a little bit. The beginning will stay the same. You add a ya and a noon at the end. Right? So it will be tas. Tas. There's a big gap. Right? Tas. Cool. Taskunina. Yeah. So this is masculine. This is feminine. Yeah. Is that okay? Novella?
Is that plural or singular?
Sorry?
Singular?
Yeah, single, bro.
Sounds like plural.
When we start to speak to each other, we speak to each other one by one. We're not going to address the entire group yet. That will come inshallah soon. Yeah? Okay. Where do you live? He goes on to say, Askunu fi Barnet. I made that myself. Okay, Askunu, Askunu, obviously, you can kind of tell what that's going to mean. Askunu. Askunu equals I live. Yes.
When it's male and female, and if it's the first person, we say asking for both.
Yes. That's both united on the masculine and the feminine front. Anything in the first person, I, we, that's all the same. No difference. Second person and third person, that's when it starts to change.
Why don't we say ask me? Why do you say ask me?
That's only in the second person and third person.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah? There's no differentiation between the male and the female in the first person. Or the masculine and the feminine, should I say. Yeah? Okay.
It says here,
Yes.
it says Ana min Pakistan, Aina Tuscany.
Yeah.
You can say yes together.
No. That's if you're speaking in the third person. We'll get to that, inshallah. Yeah, we'll get the difference between the first, second, and third person. We'll get to that later, inshallah. Yeah. Okay. Askunu fi Barnet. I live in Barnet. You can change that to wherever you live. If you want to make up a Disneyland or something like that, you're welcome to. Fi Sharia. Okay, fi. What does fi mean? Fi, that's an easy one. In. Ah, you geniuses. How did you know? Alright, in. Fi is in. In. Yeah. What's going on, guys? In. Sharia. Sharia.
Street.
Street, yes. Street, avenue, road, all of those are the same. Yeah? So I live on Prince's Avenue, for example, right? But avenue is called a sharia as well. I live on the high road, right? That is still a sharia. I live in Mornington Crescent, but it's still a road, it's still a sharia. I live wherever it is a road, wherever you park, wherever you can drive in, that's called a sharia. Yeah?
But fee you can say on any. So it says here, I live in on Gatwick Street, close.
Yeah, on, yeah.
On any.
Okay, so one thing you have to know about, these are called particles. Yeah? Fi, min means from, fi means in, ala means on. All of these words that we're going to learn as the days go by, inshallah, we'll find that they interchange in their meaning. Yeah? So fi can mean in, but it can also mean on in some occasions. Ala can mean on, but it sometimes can mean in on some occasions. Min usually means from, but it can mean something else. So variable meanings, they interchange all the time. Particles always interchange with each other. Yeah? So we're not going to sort of get too sort of fidgety about that, inshallah. Okay, I didn't actually put a name. I just put kada. Kada means, what does kada mean? Like, it means so and so. It means anything ambiguous, anything vague, anything whatever. Kada. Yeah? So you can replace that with whatever, something specific. Okay, قريبا. قريبا. قريبا means close to or close, in close proximity. قريب. Yeah? قريبا من we know what that means from. And al-mustashfa. Allahu Akbar, this is a big word. This is a big word, guys. This is like mustashfa. like the first time I learned to spell the first time I learned how to spell, was it beautiful? Right? Because you know it's different at the beginning, it's B-A-E-U, it's some weird way of starting, right? And so when we learned it when we were kids, innit, I thought, oh, that's amazing. I went home and I told my mum, I was like, Mum, this is how I can spell beautiful. And she was like, that's beautiful. So when I learned this word, this reminds me of it all the time. Mustashfa. Hazard a guess? What does mustashfa mean? Hospital. SubhanAllah, man. You guys are... Oh, right. Okay, mustashfa. I know. I'm just joking. Hospital. Yeah? Hospital. So this is basically, you want to put like you want to signpost where you live. Right? I live in Barnet. Barnet's a big place. Oh, whereabouts? Oh, you know, close by the church. Close by the mosque. Close by the hospital. Yeah? So like that. So قريبا من المستشفى. قريبا من المسجد. قريبا من I don't know. Huh? Souk. Yeah. So, Auntie's been looking at the vocabulary, mashallah. She's reading ahead. Okay. And then he goes on to ask him the same question. وَأَيْنَ تَسْكُنُ أَنْتِ? And for the feminine it will be وَأَيْنَ تَسْكُنِينَ أَنْتِ? Yeah. Pretty simple. And then he goes on to say where he lives. It's pretty much exactly the same sentence. أسكن في فنشلي في شارع كذا قريبا من المسجد. So he lives somewhere around here. Jabir is living in this region. Let's find him. It's like, where's Wally? Then he goes on at the end of that sentence to ask him a new question. ما عملك? Yeah. ما. Let's get rid of this. Let's write it there. Ma means what?
Ma means no as well sometimes, does it?
No.
But you said ma fi mushkila, didn't you?
Yeah.
Ma fi.
Yeah. It can mean not. It can mean anything negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone tries to give you something and negate whatever they're saying to you. You use the word ma, but that's in very that's in a particular circumstance, inshallah. Yeah. So you may know variables of certain words. Don't worry too much about the variables. Stick to what the meaning is that you've been given here, inshallah. Later on, we'll be exploring the words, some similar words, and sometimes the very same words, but in different contexts to give different meanings. Yeah? But all of that step by step, inshallah. So ma means what? Ma amaluk. Amal. We know that, right? Amalun salih. Work. So I translated that as profession, right? Because that's what you're asking. You know, what do you work as? What's your profession? Okay. Then he replies, أنا أعمل في الهندسة. أنا, obviously we know what أنا means. I. أعمل is the verb form of عمل. If عمل means work, then أعمل is the verb form of that. I work. Yeah? أعمل. I work. And again, first person, no difference between masculine and feminine. Okay, fi, we know what fi means. Al-handasa. Handasa means engineering, right? You can change that word to any word that you work in particular. Now in your vocab, I've given you some professions, but if there's something in there that's not yours and you'd like to know it, let me know, inshallah. Okay, so أنا أعمل في الهندسة. Handasa is the field of work that he works in. So what does that make him? What is his title? Ana muhandis. Yeah? And you'll see that whatever field that a person works in, there'll be a particular word that will be given to him. So handasa, muhandis comes from the word handasa. Yeah? Wa alaykum as-salam.
Does it refer to any specific type of engineering?
No, it's general.
I guess there'll be other words for like.
Yeah. Okay. وما عملك أنت? And he goes into asking, what's your profession? أنا أعمل في مدرسة. I work in a school. أنا مدرس. Yeah. أنا مدرس. That means I am a teacher. Yeah. So the relationship between certain words as well. We'll find out about that as we go along, inshallah. MashaAllah. I just translate that as it is. MashaAllah. Yeah. أنا مسرور بلقائك. أنا, we know what that means. مسرور. My guy أجمل مسرور. مسرور. مسرور means happy, elated, pleased, anything that's that means. Exuberant. أنا مسرور. بلقائك. Okay, there's three words in this particular little construct here. There's the B and liqa and then the kaf. These are different colours for this, yeah? We're going multicolored for this one, guys. Okay, the ba means with. Liqa means meet or meeting. And that means your. Yeah, we know that already. So, if you were to literally translate it, it will be I happy with meeting you. Yeah? So obviously that doesn't make sense. But what does it mean, all those words put together? I'm happy with meeting you, or with your meeting. Means that I'm pleased to meet you. أنا مسرور بلقائك. And then he goes on to say, وأنا أيضا. Now for the feminine, obviously you won't change anything except that kaf there. It'll be for the fatha to a kasra. لقائك. Yeah? Okay, cool. Any questions with regards to that conversation?
What did you say? Masrurun?
Masrurun means happy. Oh, happy. Aydan. Aydan means yeah. When you want to say exactly as the other person says it, but you don't want to repeat every word. So you just use aydan, which means to, as well, also.
Sorry, the word meeting, can that be used in the context of two people having a meeting?
What's that, sorry?
The word meeting, the
Yeah. Yeah.
can that be used in the context of two people having a meeting?
Like an official office meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say that too. في لقاء رسمي بين رئيس ونائب. Like an official meeting between the president and his until our next meeting, mashallah. That's very good.
If you agree with someone, should you say an idol as well?
Yeah. You can start your sentence with that. Yeah. So as we go by, so inshallah, hopefully throughout the course, no sentence is going to repeat itself. Right? So you're going to see this stuff once and once only. So pick it up, inshallah, and you can apply these words to future conversations also. So that's the idea. We want to build our our vocabulary. We want to build our structure bank. So that way when we converse with each other, right now it's going to be based with basic sentences, but as we go on through the course, we're going to build on those basic sentences and we're going to be able to converse a lot more, inshallah. Yeah? Any more questions with regards to the conversation?
When it talks about the road, it's a sharia, do we still say like Squire's Lane, or do we still say like lane and stuff, or does the sharia cover the
Yeah,
lane?
you'll take out the lane bit. Lane, avenue, crescent, street, road. Yeah. Which it'll be interesting to high road, right? Shared high. Or shared Vince's. My road, right? What's your road? Allah's Lane, right?
Squire's Lane.
Squire's Lane,
Yeah.
yeah. Shared Squires.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. Okay.
What do you call the main road, the commercial road?
Ah. Okay, we'll put that down, isn't it? Because that's quite relevant. Okay, so anything that is the main of something, or the principal street, the principal house, the principal person is always called. Is that right? Nope. Rais. Right?
Sharia race.
Can we use Kabir for it as well?
That's usually used for the big roads. So it's like the motorway or something like that. That'll be used for that.
Kabir.
Yeah. But Rais. Okay. So if I want to, in particular the roads, the main road. So I would use the word Shari', of course. Shari'. And this will be changed slightly. To Rais. Shari'.
Sorry, that stands for like main or principal.
Main road, yeah. Main road. Yeah.
So Shari is like a feminine noun.
No. Masculine. We'll get to masculine and feminine inshallah. How to differentiate between the two. What are the signs of masculine, what are the signs of feminine? I don't know words in masculine. I don't know words in feminine.
Well, this is Markaziyya then. So Markaziyya.
Yeah. Good spot. Inshallah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Alright. How many of you are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Alright. So, if sisters can pair up and brothers break up into threes, yeah, inshallah. What we'll do is we'll practice with all of the words and all of these sentences that we've gotten so far, and I'll come round inshallah, and I'll be your the third wheel. Off we go.
Okay, that's it. Hamid. Hamid, should I say that?
Yeah.